Welcome to Silicon Scoop, where we dive into the latest tech news impacting the world. Join John Irwin and the Startup Coach as they explore the tech news that matters to you. Stay ahead, stay informed, and now on with the show.
Forget everything you knew about the slow crawl of evolution. New genomic data just pushed the origin of our oldest ancestor back to a time when Earth was still a molten hellscape. We discovered that the 4.2 billion years ago, life wasn't just surviving, it was already running a complex immune system to fight off viruses. The LUCA's life-sophisticated 4.2 billion year origin. Scientists use a molecular clock to date the last universal common ancestor, LUCA, to 4.2 billion years ago, and they found it wasn't a primitive chemical blob, but a complex organism with over 2,600 genes and a functional CRISPR immune system. This proved that life hits the ground running. If complexity develops this fast, under 200 million years, the odds of finding life on Mars or Europa just skyrocketed. What do you think about this, John?
I think this is really cool. So let's get into some of the details about this, though. So, like you said, new research suggested that LUCA lived around 4.2 billion years ago, and that's much earlier than what scientists previously thought. So that essentially means that life may have emerged on Earth pretty quickly after the planet formed, during a time when Earth was still considered a violent, volcanic, hellish environment bombarded by asteroids. So the thing about this is what makes this discovery so fascinating is that LUCA was, like you said, is probably not a simple blob of chemistry barely hanging on. So they actually now think that they have a surprisingly sophisticated biology, including a primitive immune system defense and a metabolism capable of using hydrogen and carbon dioxide for energy. Now, one thing to note, LUCA is not kind of first life on Earth, okay? That's one of the most important distinctions to understand. What they're saying is LUCA represents the last organism from which all current living organisms descend. Okay, sorry for you non-Darwinism people, but scientists infer its existence because every known life form shares universal biological systems. So we share DNA, RNA, genetic coding, ATP as the energy currency, ribosomes for protein synthesis, nearly identical genetic code structures, and shared amino acids and cellular chemistry. So these shared features, they strongly suggest that all modern life inherited them from a common ancestor. This is a really cool discovery. What are your thoughts on this? Does this blow your mind?
It blows my mind. You know, think of this update like finding a fully functional high-speed fiber router inside a Victorian-era house. We expected the first life to be a carrier pigeon, slow and simple, but it turns out LUCA was already running a digital defense network against hackers, viruses, before the Earth's crust even cooled down. They had a complex immune system that did all sorts of things that changes the way we look at how quickly these organisms develop.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Nope.
So, like, just to kind of put it in, so, like, Earth, essentially, they said they're guesstimating it formed around 4.54 billion years ago. So we're talking about LUCA existing around 4.2 billion years with an estimated range between 4.09 and 4.33 billion years ago. So they kind of rewound evolution backward through time to kind of figure this out, which is really cool. But the reason why this is a cool discovery is that for decades, many scientists assumed that life couldn't stabilize during what was called the Hadean Eon, which is when Earth formed with all of the volcanic activity. But essentially, this new discovery estimates that LUCA life emerged while the planet was still super chaotic, which has huge implications, right? So the study itself also compresses the timeline between Earth becoming habitable, the origin of life, and the evolution of relatively sophisticated biology. So some researchers now think the transition from non-life chemistry to cellular life may have happened within only, and I know these are big numbers though, 100 to 200 million years after stable oceans appeared. So this is from a geologist. Geologically speaking, this isn't me. This is almost instantaneous, which kind of blows my mind.
So this research team also discovered 19 CRISPR-Cas9 genes in the reconstructed LUCA genome. A CRISPR-Cas9 is the same system that modern scientists use to edit DNA in labs today, but in LUCA, it was being used as a natural immune defense system. It's amazing that the things we're learning and that the origins of life are not what we thought they were. The team utilized a pairology-based molecular clocking by tracking gene pairs that duplicate before the bacteria archaea split. They bypassed the usual noise of horizontal gene transfer, providing a higher resolution of the Haydn timeline.
Yeah.
This is the most significant recalibration of the tree of life since the 1970s discovery of the archaea by Carl Woese. It effectively compresses the timeline of abiogenesis to complexity by hundreds of millions of years.
Yeah. So the other thing too, and this is one of the least discussed, but I think most intellectually interesting aspects, is that viruses may be almost as ancient as life itself. So just think about this. If LUCA had antiviral defenses, then viruses or virus-like genetic parasites may have existed near the very origin of life itself. Like we're talking yin and yang, good and bad type stuff, right? The balance of life. That means that evolutionary competition probably emerged extremely early. And life may have become an arms race almost immediately, and it completely changes the simplistic picture that many people have of early life as isolated primitive cells peacefully evolving, right? Which I think that's another aspect that kind of blows my mind. Oh, you're mute.
Sorry about that. LUCA was likely a methane maker's roommate. It lived in a communal ecosystem where its waste products, acetate and hydrogen, were the primary currency for the other microbes, meaning a social biology that is as old as life itself. Molecular clocks are models, not physical fossils. Critics argue that the horizontal gene transfer, microbes swapping genes like trading cards, can blur lines, potentially making LUCA look more complex than it actually was. So there are some skeptics around this, but we'll have to see as we progress and we start getting more analysis of other planets if we're going to see the similar type things.
Yeah.
So life didn't wait for the perfect moment to start. It grabbed the hate on Earth by the throat and started innovating immediately. If life can go from zero to CRISPR in 200 million years on a volcanic Earth, do you think we're going to find LUCA 2.0 under ice of Europa? Let us know in the chat.
Tired of drowning in repetitive tasks while your competitors race ahead? Every minute you spend on manual data entry, scheduling, and routine processes is a minute you're not growing your business. Flowgrammer.ca transforms your workflow chaos into seamless automation. We build AI-powered systems that handle your busy work so you can focus on what actually makes you money. Our clients typically save 15 plus hours per week and see their productivity double within 60 days. Visit flowgrammer.ca for a free automation audit. That's flowgrammer.ca. Stop working in your business and start working on it.
What do you got going on, John?
Just plugging away, helping companies with government funding, attending events, probably startup drinks or Flowgrammer events. How about you, Craig?
Lots of stuff going on. I honestly don't know when this is going out. I have to check. I think it's going to go out in April. But there's all sorts of stuff going on. If you don't know about OpenClaw, it's the latest AI automation agent that's taken the world by storm in 2026. And OpenClaw Toronto chapter just launched, and we have all sorts of events going on. So check out openclawto.com. Our first demo night is April 14th. We have a Builder Cafe on April 10th. We have a bunch of other events. There's updates every day. We've deconstructed the latest 2 betas over the weekend that was launched in OpenClaw and what you should do about them. There's a bunch of articles over there. Go check that out. We're also over at flowgrammer.ca, where we do N8N automations. We run the Flowgrammer community. I do Builders Hub and connectivity for AI and business automation agents. And for everything else, head over to TorontoStarts, where we hook up startups and investors at our Startup Investor Drinks. We do mentoring, we do workshops, we have a list of investors. There's a whole bunch of content over. You can also book me over there if you want a meeting with me to talk about whatever, help your startup. Check out TorontoStarts.com. But John, if people are looking for non-dilutive funding, where should they go and what is that?
Yeah, non-dilutive funding. We're talking government grants, tax credits. Come find me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. Right now is shred time, SRNED. But come reach out to me too if you've got a startup, if you've got a company, reach out to me if you have any questions. And if they have company questions about their startup in general, where do they find you, Craig?
Yeah, find me at TorontoStarts.com. But John, just before we go, something's open right now, and it's closing May 31st. Thank you. Can Export. And what?
Yeah. So
what
if
should
you have
people
at
know
least
about that?
300,000 in revenue in the previous year, and you're looking to expand outside of Canada, reach out to me, and we can put together. We can talk about an application for Can Export.
All the links we talked about will be in the show notes wherever you're watching this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leave us a comment, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Silicon Scoop. We hope you enjoyed this episode's dive into the latest tech news. Stay connected with John Irwin and the Startup Coach on LinkedIn and subscribe for more insights and updates. Until next time, stay ahead, stay informed.